Hi, my name is Gregor, and today I will be interviewing Mr. David Coleman, author of several Wi-Fi books, wireless books, but in particular, I want to ask him about this thing. David, I like it first and foremost. It's black, nice,
shiny.
Shiny.
Yes.
What is it?
It's the Wlan Troubleshooting Booklet. It's published on Cybex Publishing, but funded by Arrowhive.
Okay, so obviously troubleshooting. It talks about troubleshooting, so I guess with this being an Arrowhive booklet, it talks about troubleshooting with Arrowhive networks?
No, it's a general guide, sort of Wlan Troubleshooting 101. At the very end of the book, we do discuss the Arrowhive Hive Manager troubleshooting tools, some of the better tools like VLAN Probe and Client Monitor that can assist you in wireless LAN troubleshooting, but it's more kind of a vendor-neutral discussion about wireless LAN troubleshooting in general.
Okay, and there is some meat in here, so it's not just a couple of pages of booklets, and while it may look smaller, the information is compressed and you have about 70 pages.
75 to be exact. 75. So if truth be told, this is actually an excerpted from the upcoming 5th edition of the CWNA study guide. That's going to be available later this year. I think it's going to be chapter 13 of that study, of the CWNA study guide, Certified Wireless Networking.
And I believe you can pre-order it, right?
You can pre-order it at this URL right here. So thank you for that shameless plug.
Yes. He will get $1.
I get $1 per book. So you will get that chapter in the book. However, this will be distributed at trade events, Arrowhive trade events and sales events, channel partner events. But there is also a URL that you can go to and download the ebook for free. And you can see it right there. And we'll also post the URL in bigger letters right now. So that's what's called the wonders of post-production. So, so it's going to be available to anyone and everyone for free.
Okay, so let's take a look at what's inside in the 75 pages. 5 tenets of WLAN troubleshooting.
Yeah, so that's just, we started off with, I've always kind of preached about the 5 tenets of WLAN troubleshooting, and I'm not going to go over them all here. You got to read the book, but one of, just a couple of them is, I'll just end with the last one. The last one is that the Wi-Fi always gets the blame, even though the Wi-Fi isn't necessarily the problem, because from the end users, they have, all they know is they have no idea that the DHCP server is down or that your ISP provider has gone down. All they know is that they can't reach Facebook. So they blame the Wi-Fi. So always know that when you're troubleshooting wireless LAN, whether Wi-Fi is a problem or not, that it's going to get the blame initially. So.
And in terms of the troubleshooting with Wi-Fi, roughly, you have the connectivity troubleshooting. It can be surfacing as a layer 1 or layer 2 problem. You have authentication,
which is typically layer 2.
Layer 2, and then whatever happens
at the higher layers.
At a higher layer.
So and not everybody agrees with this approach, but one way of troubleshooting networks is to go up the OSI model, and that's how I always used to troubleshoot wired networks, and I like to take that approach with wireless networks as well. Wi-Fi operates at layer 1 and layer 2, so the booklet discusses starting at layer 1, troubleshoot at layer 1 first. That could be something as simple as client-side drivers being messed up, or your Wi-Fi radio turned off.
And with this, because you have that approach, you can use this book to learn how to troubleshoot or approach to troubleshooting.
Right.
But then you can also use it as a reference, right? Going just directly to certain problems up the stack.
There's, also I discussed troubleshooting best practices, and which is a lot of just asking the proper questions. So if you and collecting the proper information before instead of just going all over the place troubleshooting, try to focus in on the problem. So asking the right questions and getting the right information, troubleshooting up the OSI stack will help you. So
what's your favorite part of the book? Is there any?
My favorite, I got a lot of parts. I focus quite a bit on layer 2 retransmissions and what causes them and how to prevent them. And then I'll focus. There's a lot of layer 2 troubleshooting based on how to troubleshoot 802.1x, because there's literally like 15 different things that can go wrong with an 802.1x authentication exchange. And we talk about it generically, how to troubleshoot it, but I just do want to remind everybody, since this is funded by Arrowhive, that we have a tool called Client Monitor that really proactively helps you troubleshoot client connectivity problems, and including 802.1x, and digging deep into the frames and kind of assisting you from a high level, whether you know the frame analysis or not. So
yeah, and that's the important thing in troubleshooting. Obviously, it helps to be an expert in everything, but it's not necessarily that you have to be in order to troubleshoot the bulk of the problems of your network.
No.
Right?
So that's what we try to do at Arrowhive. We try to provide a lot of tools that, even if you're not an expert on frame exchanges, we try to give you tools that will kind of assist you and point you towards the problem. The booklet digs a little bit deeper into what the problems are in the actual frame exchanges. So,
okay, that's great. So everybody can download this?
Everybody can download this. We'll show the URL one more time.
Okay.
It's free. You will have to put in your name and information, but you'll be able to download it in a PDF format. And
you know what? Let's give a couple of them away. But there's always... They need to do something. What should people do?
To get a hard copy one?
How about this? At Mr. Multipath, Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? Send us the weirdest thing that you ever had to troubleshoot.
Okay.
And we'll create a list, and first 10, we'll send them the booklet.
I thought you were going to say the first 10 people to email me. I would get thousands of emails. Yeah,
I'm serious. Let's go.
So send it to my Twitter address at Mr. Multipath. Some weird, some strange Wi-Fi troubleshooting thing that you had to resolve, and we'll pick the best 10 and give away 10 booklets. How's that?
Right.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, David.
Thank you.
See you next time.